ever esteem anybody above yourself. The only one who is to be esteemed is God. Everybody's an equal. I look people in their eye when I talk. Growing up in the hood in an era where you couldn't do anything without getting ridiculed. It's a dude somewhere on the block that's making fun of your car because it squeaks when it come down the street, but he's walking.
Has no car.
Yeah, this is crazy.
You bootstrapped this?
Yeah.
So people were coming to you, selling devices to you, you were paying them out of your own pocket?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. I didn't have a father to go to or uncle, a rich uncle, or, certainly not back then. I didn't have any access to business capital, couldn't get a loan or anything like that. So a lot of times I would work a job. I might have been in the game and doing okay, and something might have came and knocked me off my pivot. And I'm like, dang, I got to go back to work for a couple paychecks to get some revenue so I can go back there and start buying again.
Yeah. What's up, risk takers? I'm your host, DeAndre Woodson. Today, we're talking about electronics recycling and e-waste. Meet Mark Days, the innovative founder and CEO of Coffee Mobile, a pioneering tech company that's revolutionizing how we recycle electronics. Instead of letting old devices gather dust, Mark and his team are offering consumers cash for their used iPhones, tablets, and more. So buckle up and lock in, because we're about to double down on your success. Let's get to it. Can you start off with, where did this idea come from? Because it's just so different, you know what I mean? And I want to be able to really touch on it, overgloss every single aspect of it. So where did this come from? How'd you curate this?
So, about 15 years ago, I was one of those late people to the iPhone because, I didn't have no money. You know what I'm saying? So being broke and whatnot. So I wanted to experience an iPhone. Now, the iPhones came out in 2007. I didn't get one till like 2010, and I got like an older one. So this thing called Craigslist, which is no longer relevant anymore, I went ahead and found myself an iPhone on Craigslist. Russian guy sold me the iPhone and unlocked it for me on the spot. I never forget it. And I pull up, I get the phone, I'm starting to utilize it. I said, man, I really like this phone. But being that it was like 3 years old in technology, that's like dog years.
Yeah.
So I wanted to upgrade. Now, what ended up happening was I purchased what at the time was the iPhone 4 or the 4S. And I said, man, there's something here, because I bought something off this guy. And then, I go to purchase this phone, and then I go to resell it when it was my turn to upgrade again. And I got almost the full value that I paid for the device.
Okay.
And I was like, man, there's something here. Like, even if I could just make a little 25 or 50 bucks off a flip, like this is something going on. I see these guys moving around, but it was kind of esoteric. They weren't saying anything about it. It wasn't well known. People were unlocking phones and flipping phones. They weren't telling anybody, and certainly none of them looked like us. So, it took me 15 years to uncover and dig and get behind the curtain to understand how this business even works to be to the level I'm at now, because it's so hidden.
Right.
It's not really popular. And we got a problem in our community that when we get some sauce, we tend to tuck it.
True.
And not share it with one another. So it's been a 15-year journey to kind of uncover, find out how it works. But it just started with me wanting to make some money off of a phone that I had, and I didn't want to lose the full value. So I went ahead and sold it on a platform. But man, it's been a crazy 15 years trying to figure it out,
Yeah, 15 years of doing anything, man, you are absolutely considered an expert.
Yeah.
You could do one thing for 15 years.
Man, I got 100,000 hours in this, not 10,000.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like same with any other thing I was into. I always put 100,000 hours in, more than that. Like, for instance, when I used to do music, I probably got 150,000 hours. 200,000, 28 and a half years, something like that, so.
Right.
Yeah, but the phone business is deep, man. It goes very deep, and there's still layers that I'm uncovering.
So how does it work necessarily? Like I heard you say businesses, right? You said as well as consumers. So can you walk me through, what is the process like? Let's do both avenues. So if it's a consumer that wants to recycle with you, and then if it's a business, and is recycle like the correct term? Is that how you?
Yeah, I mean, they can just sell to us, recycle. The terminology is all the same. It's all encompassing, so it's a fair term to use. So a consumer's just different.
Yeah,
they're an individual. They may have a couple devices, 1 to 5, that they want to sell. Maybe they want this year's model and they want to sell last year's model. They get in touch with us. Someone meets up with them, makes the exchange, inspect it, yada, yada, quick and easy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a corporation is a little bit different. A business, which is what we focus on mainly because it's a volume business. Like margins are typically slim.
Gotcha.
You have to give the consumer a fair price, no matter if it's a business or an individual. So the margins are typically slim.
Right.
So you need volume in order for it to make sense. So the goal with purchasing from a business is you typically have to meet someone in that organizational structure, someone in IT or something of that nature, and just inquire what they have. And if they have something and they're not already designated or earmarked to another company, so when you step in and kind of, take it from there.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So let's say, is it kind of the same process like what you did back in the day? Because you do have the name Coffee Mobile.
Yes.
So is it you come out to meet the consumer and you guys do the exchange right there on the spot and just like you get paid out cash?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, like I always bought my phones outright. So I got 3 or 4 or 5 phones just sitting around at the house, right? And I always have this idea like, I'm going to go back one day and, look at some photos or something like that.
Sure.
So if I just got them lying around like old phones, old tablets, laptops, I could just reach out to you and like in the app or something like that and get some cash on the spot?
Yeah, you can go to coffeemobile.com or, go to our Instagram, coffee_mobile, or reach out to me directly at The Real Mark Days and I'll put you in the right, contact with the right person, or I'll come do it myself.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And meet up with you. And I just assess the devices quickly. And to touch on what you said about, saving your data, right? With the advent of the cloud, there's really no reason to have devices with actual data on the hard drive at this point. Like everyone by this point should be having some type of cloud subscription where all your photos are, because you're going to be changing devices, right? And you don't hooking them up and trying to copy this to that and the third. That's old school. So now you just put everything in the cloud, you back it up, and when you get your new device, you erase the old one, and then you just, restore from a backup from the cloud. So all those older devices, if I were you, I'll put all that stuff in the cloud, wipe them, get rid of them.
Do you accept like any form, like broken, cracked screen, or does it have to be, working order, usable?
Yeah. Does not have to be working.
Ooh.
It can be DOA, it could be water damage, it could be broken. Now, of course, I have to pay commensurate to the condition, right? So I have to pay in line with what I'm getting.
Right.
But yes, we buy them all condition. iCloud log, I don't really care. As long as it's ethically sourced and, you ain't on some YN type time out here with a Pooh Shiesty robbing phones. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're good to go. We buy them in all condition because people forget passwords. Right. You drop them, break them, your kid threw it in the toilet, your toddler knocked it out your hand during bath time. Like, things happen all the time,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about information, right? Do they need to be worried that, hey, I sold my phone to Mark, right, and his people, and I got some money, so I'm really happy, but I forgot to wipe it clean. Yeah. Is that something that they need to worry about, or do you guys handle that?
Amazing question. We handle data destruction.
Okay.
So it's the first process in the intake process. We must wipe it clean.
Yeah.
You can't even access anything on there. If someone leaves their data on there, they might have left a password or whatever the case may be. So you have to wipe it clean. You have to start fresh to even diagnose the phone, to even take it through setup to see what it is. And that's typically something that I do in person. If a person has their password on there or their iCloud, or they have photos or something on there, by the time we finalize the exchange, that's already wiped and done, because I don't want anyone worrying about that. But if you have to ship it in and you forgot to wipe it, it's the first step in the process. So the wiping is a must. You have to maintain not necessarily governmental, but good best practices and high standards. That's the first step.
Ready to turn your dreams into reality? At Deviant Consultations, we're here to guide you, complete white glove service every step of the way. Whether you're starting your credit repair journey or you're looking to get business funding, we've got your back. Go ahead and screenshot or click the QR code below and schedule your discovery call with the team. Let's make your dreams come true together. That would be my first concern. You know what I mean? If me and my wife were to do an exchange out in the parking lot or something like that, like, you think right now on the spot, getting some cash is awesome. You know what I mean? Let's go shopping. but you didn't think about, dang, did I wipe that away? Did I leave my bank account set up? You know what I mean? Especially now with the new iPhones, you know, all your cards are hooked up right to your Apple Wallet.
True.
You know what I mean? So that is a scary thought.
Yeah, and there are layers of protection against that as well. Like for instance, Apple, you can't just take somebody's Apple Pay and use it. You typically need to have a Face ID or a passcode set up in order to finalize that purchase. So while you might be able to pull the card up, you know, for instance, you double tap your power button and the card comes up, you need a face recognition or a passcode to be able to tap it and use it. So they've put certain things in place, but yes, fair concern. Data must be wiped. We don't want your data. I don't want to see your nudes. I don't want to see your freak offs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we wipe everything clean. You know what I mean? That's just a part of it. We have to.
Man, yeah. Thanks for touching on that.
Yeah, facts.
I've also, you said with companies, so I've worked for a company before where they actually like sent me a laptop to work on. They sent me a monitor, you know what I mean, USB cable, mouse, keypad, all that. Do you do exchanges with those as well? Because I actually worked for a company and when we ended our contract, right, they were like, keep it. You know what I mean? Like, you've been with us long enough, keep the laptop. I mean, I had my own personal one already for home, so I kind of just have a spare laptop. That's something you would take as well?
We definitely buy laptops. Now, we have specific criteria for the type of laptops we buy because we have to be profitable and unlock the value of the devices we take in.
Right.
So, I mean, if you got a 2010 Chromebook, if they were even around back then or something, the answer is no.
Yeah.
I don't want your Windows Vista or your Windows 7 laptop. Now, I can help you sustainably and safely recycle it, you know what I mean, and send it to a downstream vendor or something like that, whereas it can be safely recycled so it doesn't end up in a landfill. But as far as us purchasing those, we probably can't unlock the value out of those. But yeah, definitely. You got some MacBooks or something, your school gave you an iPad or something like that, sure. We buy those all the time.
And you said something about safer. So is this like a better route for us, you know what I mean, as a planet, as a whole, doing this and recycling with you rather than... Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
what's
certainly.
that look like?
I don't think people understand the
waste.
Yeah, the electronic waste, the level that's out there. You know how much of it permeates and fills landfills and contributes to. It has an environmental impact as well. So, carbon impact and things of that nature. So that's why you hear companies like Apple. I call them Capple because I think it's cap. A lot of times they're just trying to save money, but you know, they say, oh, we'll take the charger out the box because we want to, you know, lower e-waste. Yeah, in theory, that sounds great. We know it's for profit, but let's say they're telling the truth. That definitely will lower the amount of e-waste that's out there because you're forced to utilize what's already on hand, and as opposed to getting an additional item that's going to end up somewhere in some landfill at some point, if that makes any sense, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a huge global impact. There's a huge impact to the planet, and it's not positive. So, and how could it be?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, our planet is full of elements, it's full of chemicals, it's full of gases, it has an atmosphere. There are scientific processes that are taking place at all times concerning the sun and things being absorbed into our atmosphere, and certain materials contribute to that either positively or negatively. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, I could see it. I didn't even know that. Thank you for sharing that, because I did not know that that's one of the excuses that Apple gave of not giving us a new block.
Capple.
Wow. Yeah. Learn something new every day.
Facts. Capple.
That's crazy.
They're capping.
I wanted to ask you about the name specifically, Coffee Mobile with a K.
Yes.
What was the thought process behind that? What's the purpose? There has to be something for it, because it's very different, and you don't think, I mean, you think coffee, you know what I mean? You don't think recycling old technology. So what was the genius behind that?
Right. Just like with Apple, you don't think of a computer. You do now, but you didn't 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You wouldn't associate an Apple with a computer. So coffee is just simply my favorite drink. That's it.
Okay.
I'm a coffee fiend. I'm on it all day.
Yeah.
And coffee with a C was not available. So I used a K. Yeah. There's no great story behind it or anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's rumored that apple was Steve Jobs' favorite fruit. So that's where the name came from. It's rumored. I don't know how true that is, but it's the same thing with me. I just said I like the disassociation of it with the association of it, because it's just kind of like a more of a conversation starter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People say coffee mobile, you think of a guy delivering a bag of coffee.
Right.
Nothing to do with that.
At
It's
all.
just me
Yeah.
buying all your devices.
And as I was prepping and getting ready for this episode, I saw like in the middle of your journey, like you did say, it was 15 years in, man.
Yeah.
It looked like you went through like a rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak to that? And what was like the thinking behind that? And then also, what is the benefit going forward? Because I know there was a reasoning forward thinking for that move. So could you touch on that?
Yes. Previously, I just thought the name, I had an obsession with putting my last name on things because now the reason behind that, I won't call it deep, but.
I mean, I don't want to cut you off, but it is a cool last name.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Where I'm from, my last name is, you won't find it associated with too much positivity. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be the person to attribute a positive connotation to my last name. And that was the purpose of trying to put it in the first iteration of my company name, which was Phones for Days. Yeah. So I thought it was like a cool little pun. Phones for days. You got a lot of phones, then you got phones for days, right? But it kind of sounded a little, I didn't know how marketable or brandable or potentially sellable such a company would be with a name like that, right? So like, I don't want Dollar Tree Family Dollar vibes associated to my brand. So I thought Coffee Mobile sounded a lot more sleek. It sounded way more marketable, and the potential in the future for a liquidity event, I think that intellectual property would probably prove more valuable.
Yeah, I got it. You're a visionary, man. You're always thinking forward.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, think ahead if I can.
Absolutely. Smart move. Power play. I like it.
Thank you.
Can I ask you, so when you do get these devices from a company, or let's say just like regular everyday consumer, right? What do you do with them? Are you're clearing all the data, right? You told me that. Obviously, I'm assuming if they're broken, you guys are maybe repairing them. I don't know. Is that something that you do?
No,
is that in-house?
Actually, we don't. We are partnered with shops and companies around the country and around the world, for that matter, that will repair, bring them back to fully working standard, and sell them on to an end consumer.
Okay.
So really, I'm more like in a wholesale aspect.
Yeah.
Now, eventually, I will have in-house repair people and things like that, in order to maximize the full value of a device. But right now, it's just more expedient to pass it along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said that you're like a wholesale at right now in this particular stage. What would you say would be like the benefit for a consumer going to you rather than going and getting a refurbished phone? Because essentially that's what it is, right?
Yes.
It'd be a refurbished. And you can buy a refurbished phone from AT&T, you know what I mean, T-Mobile, Apple. So what would be the benefit for a consumer? I mean, I'm assuming it's price, but I don't know. I want to ask.
Price is definitely a huge benefit,
Okay.
because, we spend a lot of time negotiating, things I learned from people like Brad and Grant and Cardone and people like that I have interpersonal relationships with. And it's important, because you make your money on the buy, you don't make your money on the sell. And that goes for anything,
right?
Real estate, whatever. You make your money when you buy it.
Yep.
Stocks, same thing. Buy the dip, right?
Right.
So when we purchase, we try to purchase at a price that makes sense. If there are repairs that have to be done to it, or a refurbishment, again, that's typically something I'll pass along. And that word refurbish is really a tricky term, because when you think of the word refurbish, you think of someone taking the phone, sitting down, changing out the components, that something's wrong. Man, when these refurbished phones, a lot of times, they took it in the factory, they wiped it, just don't look that bad. Send it back out again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And call it refurbished. There's really not a lot of work that's going into these devices from these companies. So beware of the word refurbished out there, because it's overutilized and it's really not what people think it is. But yeah, definitely cost effectiveness, warranty beyond the life of the actual manufacturer warranty. If we repair something, you have to put a warranty on it, or a repair shop, for instance, you get your screen done, there should be a lifetime warranty on that screen.
Right.
So if something goes wrong with it, manufacturer defect wise, they should be able to do a swap out for you. So yeah, there's benefits to it, but it's mainly going to be cost, because Apple taxing, Samsung taxing. Our main competitors right now are just carriers.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they offer deals, because their goal is not, they don't necessarily make money from phones always.
Yeah.
Their goal is to lock you in that contract. So,
And you said a word, and I wanted to get to it, so I'm glad that you touched on it. You said competitors.
mm-hmm.
What is it actually like being in this space? Because you think of technology and you think it's so competitive. It's really Samsung, it's Apple. You know what I mean? They just go head to head with each other every single year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And they drag each other on commercials.
Sure.
And obviously there's a lot of money backing them. There's a lot of history. And kind of like, let's keep it honest, like when you become iPhone person, you're kind of like in a cult, and you're like, yo, you got a green bubble coming into this group message, like I don't even want to rock with you.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
it's
So what is it like being in such this competitive space and carving your own way out? What does that look like?
Man, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's extremely competitive. The main two, like you said, Apple, Samsung. Now worldwide, Android permeates and dominates all things, but here in America it's mainly Apple and Samsung going head to head, and Google.
Yep.
So the big three, with Google being the smallest out of the three. And it's bugged out because it's like, competing against, they try so hard to get their devices back once they've gone out to the consumer. Right. And, it's just weird that they play in that space. And I've seen it over the years to where Apple and Samsung go from barely having a trade-in program to now it's one of their largest streams of revenue.
Absolutely.
Right? To recapture those devices, and whether they're going to sell them along to someone else or auction them off or whatever it is, it's so competitive out here. And there are a lot of guys since 15 years ago who have come into the game doing what I do too, So I won't name any of them. We don't give no free promo, but they're out there, and, my eyes are on them, and they should be watching me too, because I'm going to be a thorn in their side.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's going to be tough.
What does the future look like for you, man? What is the vision? And I said it earlier, I gave you the accolades of being a visionary. So where do you see this thing going, or how do you scale this?
Yeah.
What is that? Can you walk me through that process?
Great question.
Please.
And we go back to the subject of volume.
Okay.
Volume is the only way you scale a phone business or an electronics buyback company.
Right.
You have to have access to volume, and you have to be able to disposition that volume to the right companies and persons. So that's the only way you scale. It's what Marcus Lemonis, the guy, the prophet from CNBC, he speaks about: people, process, and product. So those are the three main components to any business. If any one of those is broken, you will fail.
What are the three?
People, process, and product.
Oh, okay.
Product being the least important, people being the most important, and process, to me, by my own estimation, being somewhere in the middle. Because the people, you can make money even if your product's broken.
Yeah.
Right? Look at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Product sucks.
Right.
It's horrible. Should never have it. But they're rolling in the dough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You could even make money if the people are broken. Look at McDonald's. Do you get a positive or a typically so to sometimes negative experience when you go? But then you look at a place like Chick-fil-A that has the people, the process, and the product intact, and they spanking everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, I think maybe I should reconfigure that. Maybe process is the most important.
Yeah.
Right? Because the automation of McDonald's, a company like that, is what makes them so successful.
Right. Right.
And then you got the people who are there to kind of just oversee or propagate the process, and then your product, whatever.
Yeah.
But to answer your question again, to scale, process is very important in this business, because you can't be you can't have two people trying to process 1,000 phones. It's just not going to work. Right. You got to have technology implemented with the advent of AI, making things a lot easier, a lot smoother. And, my product, I really don't have a product. The product is a service.
Yeah.
Right. I'm providing a service. And if I can provide the service faster, I think Brad talks about something, you can have good, fast, or cheap, but you can only have two.
Okay.
You can't have all three. Right. So I have to be good and I have to be fast. Right. And in order to satisfy my client. And if I can master those things and have the right people, the right process, and offer the right services and products, then I'll be successful. That's the only way to scale. But people are extremely important as far as scaling is concerned. I noticed that when I wasn't dealing with the right people, I suffered greatly in the revenue aspect.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think you ever want to have the association of your company, and the word cheap ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's a service or if it's a product. So, like Brad said, you can only have two out of the three.
Yeah.
Cheap got to go.
Yeah. I mean, you can have fast and cheap.
Yeah.
But is it going to be good?
Right.
Exactly. You can have good and fast, but it probably won't be cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
And you definitely won't ever get good and cheap.
No.
It's just not going to happen. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the way you scale. And that's the trajectory I'm on. I'm purely focused on scaling.
Okay.
That's it. That's the only way. You got to get to these billions these days to be safe. Like, it's like 10 million is like the new million now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a million is like the new 100,000.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so tricky out here. Inflation and times change so fast ever since, I guess COVID or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Bleep that if I'm not able to say that word without getting banned. You know what I mean? But it's tricky nowadays, bro.
I actually saw like a little weird graphic this morning, actually, on my way in here. It said the average price point of a house, I think it said in like the year 2055, it's supposed to be like 1.6 million.
I believe it.
That's where inflation is headed. And you really think about it, it's only 30 years from now. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you this, right? So I used to live in Broward County, Florida, right, which is Fort Lauderdale and the greater areas, right? So a crib that cost $200,000 to purchase in 2005 went for 400 and something thousand in 2020, which is now 800 to 900,000 in 2025.
Yeah.
This is the same neighborhood. Like I stayed in this neighborhood at one point. Like it's real estate is astronomically inflated. It is out of control. And oddly enough, that's the next realm I'm going to play in.
Really?
Yes. Okay. Because I don't see myself wanting to do this forever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? At some point I need to earn passive, from being around Grant and people like this, man. Seeing this guy just doing whatever he wants, when he wants, hopping on his jet, chilling with his kids and just doing whatever. Like, well, how you do it, Unc? Oh, passive income. So I'm like, all right, here we go. Now I got another fight. I gotta go figure out.
It's inspiring though, you know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate them showing it and showing the journey along the way. Cause you said it earlier, like when people get to such a high level and a status, they used to want to gatekeep it and not want to share it. But now, with the power of the internet and social media and all these platforms, you actually do yourself a service by sharing the journey along the way,
right?
And aspiring, right? And showing people you could do it too. You know what I mean? So I love it. I love every single aspect of it. I want to touch on this. I think we glossed over it, and I want to just come back to it. How do you expect to get companies? Like, do you need to like call them and get contracts of saying, can we have your devices? Like what does that process look like?
Yes, there are agreements involved. Speaking of the word gatekeeping, you got to get through those gatekeepers, all the secretaries, all the departments of people who want to stand in the way to keep you away from the person who's a decision maker, who ultimately will either put you in touch with the actual decision maker or the person who will make the determination on whether or not this is something they even want to do. And your follow-up game has to be extremely strong. Your follow-up game has to be strong. because a lot of times you're not going to reach people. You're not going to get to the department you need to get to. But once you do, yeah, you're going to have to work out some agreements. You're going to have some paperwork, because some of those concerns you brought up, such as data erasure and things like that, is a great concern. They have proprietary data on there sometimes, data that's sensitive pertaining to the inner workings of their companies. So they want to make sure that all that is safe and secure. So you have to sign agreements and show that you have the ability to handle these devices safely and in a way that they want you to.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, let's say for the finished product, for the transaction from your company and a consumer, as well as a business, do they get to like select how they would like to be paid out? Do you have different payment methods, or is it all face-to-face, like cash?
Not when you're dealing with a business. Typically, you're going to be doing a lot of wire transfers. Okay. Sometimes they may allow, a credit card payment through an invoice or something like that. But typically, they're going to want a wire.
Got it.
Or if it's a smaller transaction, you can do a Zelle.
Yeah. Or
an ACH, automatic clearinghouse. Takes a few business days, 1 to 3 business days or something to hit their account. But you have to be trusted, for methods like that. That take a little bit for them to receive the money, but it's going to be wire transfers. They want that bread and they want it now.
Right. And then for the everyday person, it could be cash, Zelle.
Cash App, Zelle, Venmo.
Okay. Yeah.
Stuff like that. A little couple grand here, a little 500 there. You know, you can just Cash App somebody. I don't do cash like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because if someone makes a special request and I want to accommodate them, I will try. But I tried not to. I mean, it's 2025, bro. I'm not carrying around no dirty dollar bills.
Yeah.
And pennies and quarters and, like, I'm not carrying that around. So, it's electronic payment, Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, once it's verified, and get you situated right there on the spot.
And if someone was watching this from the audience or viewers with us today, if they wanted to actually purchase a phone from you, you have like physical locations like around the world, around the country, just here in Vegas, or is it
based out of Vegas?
Okay.
We're not really big on selling devices to individuals.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, we have an eBay page and stuff like that sometimes we post devices here and there, but a lot of our business is B2B. It's business to business.
Okay.
When you're talking business to consumer, it's more of us just buying from the consumer, because our devices are dispositioned and earmarked for other businesses. They're going to utilize them, sell them to an end consumer, or potentially they're going to buy 100 phones from us and distribute them to their employees. So, we typically won't sell to a consumer, but from time to time, we'll put little stuff out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you speak on, because I know this had to be challenging, man, 15 years in, and that's why I wanted to give you the respect earlier. 15 years in on anything is incredible work. I know there had to be hurdles, obstacles along the way, right? This is a very tight space that you are choosing to do business in. Can you speak on what was the hardest thing that you had to overcome along the way? What did that look like?
Man, what you want to talk about first? That's the question. Like,
I mean, was it like, because it's not like capital, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's what most small businesses have issues with, right? Of capital, and they need to either have product on hand to get out to their clients. Yours is different. You know what I mean? Yours is, you really need to be seen and visible for people to do business with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that's why I was kind of intrigued. Like, what did you have to face? And not saying that it didn't happen. I know obviously there was something, but what did that look like?
Well, the capital is our product.
Okay.
Right? Essentially, the capital is what we're distributing to get what you have. Right?
Okay, I get you.
So, not only do we have to be seen and known, but we also have to be proactive about reaching out to clients. So the capital, you need capital to do this business.
Right.
So it is that's the first hurdle you have to overcome.
Gotcha.
Because I started this business or this hustle, I guess, when I first started with nothing.
You bootstrapped this?
Yeah.
So people were coming to you, selling devices to you. You were paying them out of your own pocket.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Out of my own pocket. Like,
wow.
I didn't have a father to go to, or uncle, or rich uncle, or, certainly not back then. I didn't have any access to business capital, couldn't get a loan or anything like that. So, a lot of times I would work a job, and hustle up enough paychecks to, I might have been in the game and doing okay, and something might have came and knocked me off my pivot, and I'm like, dang, I got to go back to work for a couple paychecks to get some revenue so I can go back there and start buying again.
Yeah.
Sometimes you starting off with $50.
Right.
And then you working up, like I bought a cracked iPhone such and such for $50, and then I made 25 on it, and you're just flipping up from there until you get back up. So it's crazy. Like,
wow.
there was no shortcuts. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing, bro.
No, there's power in that. Just what you shared in that little bit of, you said that you might have had to go back and get a job. So you had to go back, get a 9-to-5 where you had consistent income to fund this business, right?
Yes.
You couldn't just throw your hands up at it. You know what I mean? So you're working the 9-to-5 to keep this dream going along. That's powerful. I hope that people were able to hear that.
Numerous times when, especially like when, okay, let's just put this out there, right? So I used to rap, I used to make music. So I used to produce, write, record. So, I owned a studio at one point.
Yeah.
So money was circulating in all ways. So I might have had to go sell a beat.
Okay.
For $500.
Yeah.
Get $500 to get back in the phone game, or I might have had to go get a job, or I might have did a battle, and got paid $500 for that. Yeah. I just spent 60 days thinking about one guy, no Diddy, and I go destroy him for 3 rounds, and I take that little $500. I need to go buy some phones now because I know off of this 500 I can turn it into 5,000, right? But I won't make 5,000 from going to do this battle. Gotcha. Or I might not make 5,000 off of selling this beat. So it was a lot going on in those 15 years, or working that job and working 13-hour, 14, 15-hour days, telemarketing jobs, whatever it was, temporary jobs in factories, whatever, did it all.
Yeah.
There's nothing no one could tell me, bro. Like,
Absolutely.
you can't tell me nothing. Did it all, bro. Like, stood outside at 4 a.m, hoping to get picked for the temporary job. Don't even get picked. You standing there till 1, 2 a.m. Fill out a paperwork this thick at your local temporary agency, right? To try to get picked for a job. Like, working in factories about to faint from heat exhaustion. Down in Florida, no air condition.
Yeah.
Like, facts.
Yeah.
So, it's rough. Like, it's a blessing to just be able to sit in front of you in this form, and this ain't even my final form,
No, absolutely not. And thank you for sharing that, because that is really what it looks like when you're starting off, when you're starting to launch, when you're getting ready, and maybe even when you think you're at the pinnacle and at the peak and you get swept under, you know what I mean? You have no idea what could come and blindside you, and you have to start all over. And this is where you separate yourself, is when hardship comes. Do you clean yourself up? You know what I'm saying? And do you believe in yourself? Do you trust in what you have? And you think that you can make a difference in the world and you keep doing it again? Or do you give up on it because you came on some rocky times? That's really the separating factor. So for you to do that from the very beginning, continuing the process on, I hope that people listening today, watching today, understand it's not easy. You know what I mean? What you see on platforms, on social media is
cap.
It's highlights because it's what gets the views. It's what gets the eyes. It's what attracts people, because that's just what you want to see.
Can we touch on that for a second?
Please do. Go ahead.
Let's talk about these cappers out there, right?
Okay.
These social media cappers, this lifestyle marketing. Let me tell you something. 99.9% of what you see, let me pull the mic close, no Diddy, because I want people to hear this. It's cap. The mansion is rented. The jewelry is moissanite. The car is a rental car. It's not real. They scam to get the bread, right? I was just, my wife and I were on social media the other day. I was looking on YouTube. Some bozo people got around Uncle G, robbed him, $2.5 million, bang. Hit them over the head over a period of time. Look at their social media. They look successful.
Right.
Sitting on Rolls Royces, little Birkins and funny looking little, he might have had the Mario boots. You remember them red Mario boots? They were horrible.
Right.
Terrible.
Right. Though.
So, but, don't believe this stuff, man. Don't believe this lifestyle marketing that you see, man. And if someone has the bag and they are authentic, they'll have a proven track record that you can look back and see, right? Most people who are in that space, this lifestyle marketing, I'm going to show you that I'm rich so you can follow me and I can sell you something. Their business is talking to you about business.
Right.
Their business is not having a business because having a business is tough. Yep. You talk about starting over. Bro, all my connections and relationships were in Florida. I just moved here a year ago. I had to start from scratch. I didn't know one person here other than Brad Lee.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now, granted, that's a good person to know, but it's not like I'm his man's, like I don't do handouts. I don't beg. I don't ask. Like, it's not like somebody just threw me a pack and let me run. Like, no, like I had to work. I worked with him for a period of time. Right? And shaking hands and going to networking events and, going to different places and trying to put myself in front of people. It's still difficult doing business out here because I'm so new. Vegas is a who knows you type of town.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not a type of town you come out and just hit the ground running, and it's not like that. Right. It may seem that way, but don't let the strip fool you. Right. So it's 100%. You need a certain level of gumption and a certain level of something inside. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, even when things look bleak, it's just like a tiny little voice, as corny as it might sound, a tiny little voice that's just like, you can't quit, and wherever you draw inspiration from, whether it's the girl who broke your heart 15 years ago, or, you got bullied in school, or you grew up poor and had to hustle, or, you was on the street, or you got locked up, or whatever it was that you went through,
right? Those
experiences, sometimes you got to tap into that, and you don't want to get comfortable, right? I pinnacle, I don't even know what that word means. I could look in the bank tomorrow and have 20 billion. I will never feel satisfied. I will never, ever, ever feel comfortable or satisfied. It would never happen. I could see 30 trillion. I'm never going to be happy with that.
30 trillion?
Bro, I wouldn't care if it was 300 quadrillion.
Okay.
I would never be happy.
Yeah.
I could own Mars. It would never, it's nothing, because you have to keep going. There's something, you have to get out of bed. There has to be a reason. And there's always going to be an issue, a new challenge to overcome.
Yeah.
There's no such thing to me as the pinnacle. Like, I'm never going to be comfortable, bro. It's just not possible for me. It's not that I'm ungrateful.
For sure.
It's nothing to do with gratitude, because you're grateful that you're no longer where you're at, but there's always a new level to aspire to. There's going to always be a new challenge, a new enemy, a new something that's in front of you that you're going to have to face, and there's just no way around it, bro.
No, I feel it. I can literally feel your passion as you're speaking. So I don't think it comes off like arrogance or anything that you're not gracious. So I think you're good there. I think you covered your bases.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely grateful.
Yeah.
Where I come from, bro, people don't even make it to this little tiny level that I'm at. And I'm not anywhere close to where I want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And people don't even get that far. I know right now, if I'm looking for one of the homies, I know where to find him, and I don't have his phone number.
Right. I want to touch back on it because I want to know, honestly, what's the end goal here? Because I can see how you think, and I'm learning you as you're speaking. And again, I go back to the word visionary. You don't see ever stopping, right, and getting the pinnacle. So what is your end game here? Because you also spoke to it earlier when you said the opportunity of the brand of Coffee Mobile being able to be purchased. It looks differently, right? So are you already coming up with an out, you know what I mean, as in selling the company, or being able to maybe take it to the stock market, you know what I mean, and it becoming a publicly traded company? Like, what is the vision here?
I mean, the vision is to get as absolutely massive as I can get. Okay. Right? When I read headlines, like the other day I read the headline, they announced Apple is approaching a $4 trillion market cap or valuation based on the iPhone 17 sales, pushing them over that threshold, like $4 trillion.
Right.
It's an unfathomable number
Yeah.
for most people. Okay, why can't I do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the future is going to hold. I have no clue. But if there's a liquidity event, if there's an M&A that's going to take place, a merger acquisition in the future, someone says, hey, we like your company. Or if I'm a thorn in the side hard enough for some of these companies, they may just want to buy you to get you out the way.
Yeah.
But if the number is right, certainly. But first I have to build it.
Okay.
You know, first I have to get it there. I have to have the right processes in place, the right people, the right products. It goes back to those 3 Ps. And I'll know when it's that time. But to answer your question, what is the end goal? The end goal is to make sure that whoever comes behind me in my lineage, money is not, it's a stupid worry. And I hate thinking about it. Okay. It's not something I want to think about, right? I'm forced to because of the system we live under.
Right.
But it shouldn't, I don't want it to be a worry for the generations to come.
Powerful.
You know, the scripture says something to the effect, and I'm paraphrasing, he who does not leave an inheritance for his children's children, like it says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
Yeah.
Well, that's also to say that if you don't, you're not a good man.
There we go.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my focus. Like, I don't want them to go through what I went through. I had to have to do the type of things I had to do, many of which I'm not proud of, just to ascertain a couple. What I look at now is like stupid, right? It was dumb. I didn't know any better, but it was so stupid. The level of risk commensurate to it was not commensurate to the reward. Like, it didn't match.
Right.
I don't want them to have to do that. My kids, their kids, their kids, kids. They should not be worried about money. That's the goal.
Man, I appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you.
If you had the opportunity to speak to any of the viewers, the audience that are listening today, and let's say they're two different people, right? Let's say they are on their journey. They're running their head up against the wall. They want to quit. And then also that person who is scared to jump off the ledge and do something. They know they have a great idea. They know they can change the world, or they can just do something that's different to help them provide for their family, like you're speaking on. What would you say to those two individuals if you had the opportunity today?
Okay. The first person who's hitting their head against the wall and they want to quit, the only thing you need to know is that's normal. There's nothing wrong with you hitting your head against the wall and feeling like you want to quit. It's a part of it. The word being an entrepreneur literally means someone who takes greater than normal financial risk to see a return on their investment, right?
Right.
It's not normal what you're doing. So the feelings of abnormality are normal, right?
Yeah.
So don't feel like something's wrong with you because you feel like you're hitting a ceiling. You're going to have to break through many of those, right? I'm someone that's from the gutter. So think about how many ceilings it takes just to get out of the gutter alone. And you trying to have aspirations to, be the guy that's flying on the Boeing business jet, with your family and your people. Like, there are many ceilings. You're going to bump your head on all of them. That's how you break them.
Yep.
Right? Very normal, man. Don't feel out of place. Don't feel out of pocket. I have the same feelings on a daily basis. Some days I look at my wife, I'll be like, why did I do this? Well, what was the reason for this? Why? And she just be like, because you built for it.
Yep. Ooh. That's
a
good wife. That's a good wife.
It's a wonderful wife.
Man.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's the truth. It's not her hyping me up. It's just when I sit down and think about all the things that I had to go through to get to this point, which is still a low point, in my opinion. I still have so much more to do.
Absolutely.
It's so normal. Now, the person who's just scared, there's a couple things that are going on there. You might be inundated with information. So you might have analysis paralysis because you spent all your time looking at this stuff and trying to ascertain information until you feel comfortable. Well, you're never going to feel comfortable. And you need to stop listening to so many people. You need to pick one mentor to follow, someone that you resonate with, follow what that person says, discard what's useless, keep what's useful, because no one knows everything or they would have everything, right? Only one knows it all, and that's God. Anything outside of that is rubbish, right? It's flawed because it could be manipulated because it's likely human.
Yep.
So stop with the analysis paralysis. Stop being scared. Don't put your family at unnecessary risk. Don't put your family at risk. That's irresponsible. Right. Don't do that because you will regret it. And entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Everyone is not meant to jump. Some people are just meant to have an idea and die with it. Some people are just meant to have that idea and potentially partner with someone that does have the gumption to go forward and be the face of the situation and lead the ship. So maybe you're in the wrong position, or maybe you need to pivot. I was talking to Grant Cardone the other day, and he said, man, you need the right vehicle. Maybe you're in the wrong vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So there's so many different factors that can play, but what I can tell you is weigh against what would you rather do? Be a slave to a 9-to-5 for the rest of your life? Or would you rather at least give it a shot? Because let me tell you something. What I realized, what people are afraid of losing is the approval of others. Because you really don't lose nothing.
Right.
You got a 400 credit score, so what?
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Yeah, you still wake up tomorrow.
Well, the only thing you ashamed of is that people going to know you have the score and judge you about it. It's not because the 400 score actually does something physically to you. Right? Now, you may be prohibited from moving in certain circles and things of that, but all it boils down to is there are systems in place to relegate you to a point where you feel ostracized. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you lost your crib. Now you got to move in an apartment. So what you ashamed of? You're ashamed of the judgment that comes associated with the word foreclosure or bankruptcy or whatever it is, or failing at your business venture. You're scared of the judgment. Brad Lee talks about this word allodoxophobia, which is the fear of what people think of you.
Ooh, say the word one more time.
Allodoxophobia.
Allodoxophobia.
Yes,
okay.
Which is the fear of what other people think. That's what keeps people, and it's there to keep you in line.
I think the whole country has that.
Come on.
Allodoxophobia.
The whole world.
Yeah, the whole world.
The whole world has that.
Wow.
Everybody has that.
Everybody
has someone out there who they don't want to view them negatively.
And I think it's because like the comparison thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is the social media trash.
Absolutely.
See how it all ties in? Right?
Yeah.
Your first thing you do, you pop open Instagram, you're inundated and flooded with fakery, foolery.
Yeah.
99.9% is all false. Then you go out into your day feeling down about yourself because you look in your surroundings and say, well, man, my kitchen wasn't aesthetic as Sarah J, the home cook on Instagram with 1 million followers, right? And they don't know that Sarah J, the home cook, got 3 foreclosure notices on her cabinet right now. On her refrigerator, there's a past due for electric, $3,000.
Come on now.
Right? Or Joe Blow, the idiot, is in his new Lamborghini Urus and he's $300,000 in debt and he don't know how he gonna pay it. Don't let these people capture you, man.
Yeah.
This is how they play you.
Yep.
Right? And this is what keeps people stuck, stagnant, and not wanting to move forward. Is you're inundated. Get rid of all this crap, turn this mess off, and focus up on what you want to do and be resolute in your decision. That's every time you hear a successful person, I'm not putting myself in that hat just yet.
Okay.
But when you hear from any successful person, you watch any interview, what's the answer they always give? Well, how did you get where you're at now? I made a choice. That's it.
Yeah.
They simply decided. The end.
Right.
Once you make a decision, you'll either do what you're supposed to do to support that decision, or you'll do something that will bring the opposite of what you're looking for in your life. I don't believe in all that weird esoteric stuff. You could yoga yourself out and manifest everything you want and all this. Man, look, you got to get out there and work.
Absolutely.
You got to get out there, make a decision, shake the hands, be uncomfortable, go to the networking events where you feel like you're being judged and you're not comfortable, but you still got to go anyway. Put on that smile when you know you're depressed today.
Right. It's hard. Yeah.
I ain't gonna cap, bro. Like, this is the reality of it. Don't let these people fool you because they skinning and grinning.
I like that theory. I like the way that you actually worded it, because you broke it down, I think, to a digestible level where every listener at every avenue or where they are in their life, they can understand it, right? I heard Gary Vee say the other day too is, don't box yourself in before you even start, where you're so focused on this is my niche. He said, throw everything out there into the algorithm. If you like playing basketball, you play basketball. If you like to cook steak, you cook steak. If you like to put on and try different shoes, you show those shoes. If you like to video game, you video game. If you like to cut your grass, you cut your grass. If you like to wash. You do not know who your audience is or what they want. So feed them. Once you see the numbers of this is what they want, now you go and you start mowing grass.
Double down.
Hey, homage.
Come on.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
If they want to see you mowing grass because your lines are tight, you know what I mean? That's what you go do. But you don't know if you think you know your niche. You don't.
That's right.
They will decide it for you. Now you go hit it and you double down.
And that's what's so interesting about, again, that word allodoxophobia, is because people are trying to paint the perfect picture of themselves, right? Especially people from my generation. We come from this generation of, you don't take L's. There's no such thing as taking L's. So people, we know we take L's left and right every single day. You're going to take 1,000 L's a minute.
Every day.
Now people are transparent about the L's they take. But back in my generation, the L's were hidden. You had to only portray that you were a winner and never took an L, because taking an L was frowned upon. You can't say you lost a fight. You can't say you took an L in business, or somebody robbed you and ran off with your stuff or whatever, and you didn't go instantly kill them. Some goofy nonsense that people teach you. You know what I mean? Like, but to touch back on what you're saying, the allodoxophobia is what keeps people from putting out that different stuff. Right. Because it's like, if someone knows I play video games, I might get judged, because you got some idiot out there screaming in the camera, if you play video games, you're destined for failure. This dude's making 8 figures a year playing video games on Twitch.
Absolutely.
Right? Kids streaming, making 10, 20, 30 million a month.
Yeah. ESPN literally has their own category, esports. Like,
come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right, yeah. Like, people don't want you to know that in their pastime, they might like to play a little ball.
Come on now.
Or whatever the case may be, because they're going to be judged for it, and they're afraid of being judged. I was talking to my wife about this before I came here today. Imagine growing up in the hood in an era where you couldn't do anything without getting ridiculed. It's a dude somewhere on the block that's making fun of your car because it squeaks when it come down the street, but he's walking.
Has no car.
Yeah, this is crazy. There's a chick somewhere laid up in the projects making fun of your house because your painting was crooked on social media and you didn't fix it yet.
Right.
Or your kids threw some stuff on the floor and they somewhere off in some Section 8 housing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Off into some freak stuff right now as we speak. And they making fun of you, making a comment on your page.
Come on.
What is this, man?
And what you said, like what they were nitpicking at or making fun of, is just everyday life.
Everyday life.
I just let you into my home, so you saw the crooked painting. So you saw that my toddlers are real toddlers.
Right. They tear the crib up.
My living room is not perfect. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, it's not perfect because I'm exhausted coming behind them constantly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
To clean up, right.
My energy got to go to, I still have to cook for my family. I still need to be a husband. I still need to do laundry. I still need to, raise them, teach them, read to them, bathe them. I'm not worried about my dirty living room.
Yeah.
So guess what I'm really not worried about? Your little funky comment.
Your little funky opinion.
Come on.
But that's what it is. But people fear that so much, man.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps them from displaying that other side of their life,
right.
And trauma too. Like my wife talks about something. She's like, man, why you don't want to put a video up of the kids? Well, because, I'm from the streets. And when people know who your kids are, they'll kidnap your kids.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, or I blur my license plate. I don't want you to know what type of car I drive because people identify you by your car and shoot your car up.
Yeah, that's trauma.
Well, you don't live like that anymore. So why is that a word? What?
It's just trauma.
It's just, there are so many more factors that, are at play for people that people might not know about. But the main thing is, don't let these people trick you. Like they call it being tricked off the streets. Like you're getting tricked out of your spot.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my main mistakes I made when I was battle rapping. I let people trick me out my spot by the way they treated me and their opinions and things of that nature. Like I had people make fun of me because I had the same haircut for like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
This haircut wasn't popular in 2010, right? And I had like a part that was considered old school back in the day.
Smooth.
Right? It's super smooth.
Yeah.
But like you'll see the same people who made fun of me from wearing jackets in all my battles or having a haircut, they go steal my bars and steal my whole swag, and then they next battle they look just like me. Or 5 years later or 3 years later in 2013, everybody got a fade, now it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't cool when I did it.
Right.
Don't get tricked out your spot by the opinion of people, because I could have went a lot further in different arenas had I been able to deal with people a little better.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. You dealing with people. So I struggle in the social media game. I'm not going to lie, because social media was not popular from my generation. It was about not taking pictures. Stay out the photo.
Gotcha.
Especially if you move in a certain way. Why you in the photo?
Mm-hmm.
This guy the feds? Why is he coming around taking? Now they film themselves. Yeah, man, I just killed 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
And they put it online. I don't know what's going on, bro.
Yeah. Totally
I don't have a clue. It's nuts.
Yeah. Totally
it's
different era.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. We living in some weird times. So, that's why I said I'm out of everything. I'm a church guy. I'm a family man, and I run a company, and
you're a business
phones,
man.
bro. Like I deal with phones. I don't know anything about anything but phones.
It's evolution, and we're all changing. It's honestly a good thing. You know what I mean? You're not the old version of you when you were 10. You're not the old version of you when you were 20. You're not the old version of you when you're 30. And not only is that an amazing thing for you, but the people in your life that choose to go with you on this journey, they need to also accept and give you grace for the new iterations of you as well. They can't only view you as that 18-year-old punk kid. You know what I mean?
Or they don't, and they just get cut.
And that's okay. That is okay with evolving. I saw a woman, she was I don't want to speak. Appreciate you. It was a psychologist. She actually said that you need to get new friends every 7 years. And don't look at it as a bad thing. It just means you're evolving every 7 years. You're maturing every 7 years. So, but everyone matures differently. You know what I mean? You can't expect your friends to like the same things you like 7 years in the future. Kids come, new marriages, divorces, addictions, or, you know what I mean? Different hobbies, they move. And it's hard, but it's okay. That means you are continuously growing. So you need to give people the grace to mature, and it needs to be looked at from every single spectrum. You growing up, I can't hold you to the standard of, that was my 21-year-old young boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I got into something, I knew who had my back.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about him. Don't hold him to that anymore.
Right.
Let him mature. Let him now be the new husband. Hey, and if it might be unfortunate for you because you haven't matured, but don't put him in the middle of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't make him go lie to his wife, or don't put him in the predicament where his wife makes him make a choice between his wife and you because she knows you're bad for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's all about growing. It's about giving grace and allowing people to mature, and you respect it or you don't. You know what I mean? You get with it or you get lost.
Bro, when I tell you I have 0 friends, that's a real number.
I believe it.
That is a real number. That's not a capped number. Like, everyone that I'm cool with is either you like a brother, and we are interconnected because of business.
Right. And those people you're locked in with.
Locked in.
Those people.
Like, I'm locked in.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even if some of them don't look at me as that close, I consider some of them like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Other than that, I don't have friends. Like, there's no one I could call and be like, yo, man, you trying to grab a steak? Let's go to Hank's or Carver Steak or something and grab a steak or whatever the case may be. And I'm totally all right with that. because the people I was around before, no diss to anybody, but like they did something goofy and I had to cut them, or they couldn't respect the growth, or they turned and it turned into like an actual beef. Whoa, who needs that?
Right.
Nobody.
Yep.
We are grown.
Yep.
I am an old man, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What do I look like being out here still running around like I'm 20,
Right.
doing the same thing I used to do 20 years ago?
I hear you.
It can't happen.
Absolutely.
It can't happen. There's no growth. There's no positive trajectory. Everything is going to have a pejorative connotation associated with it. Whatever I do, if I stay in that mind frame and in that mindset. And let me tell you, it's not easy. It's lonely.
It is.
It's really lonely. I know people talk about cutting off toxic, whatever, that word toxic that people overuse. They don't even know the meaning of it, but cutting off things that are not necessarily good for you. People talk about it. People don't do it.
Yeah.
They don't do it.
Right.
They really don't. And what happens when you do introspective work and you find out the toxicity is coming from you?
It's powerful.
And then what do you do?
Right.
How do you purge that? What if you the toxic one?
Absolutely.
Because let me tell you something, a lot of times people will cut other people off and wonder why their life is still going the way it was going. Well, the only common denominator is you.
Absolutely.
Right? I had to go through that work too. So, and still going through it.
Yep.
Because I'm fighting stuff from,
Always.
People ain't going to be honest like that, though. They have to appear perfect. They got to, well, I'm just, I'm well put to stop the cap.
For real.
You the most jacked up one.
Yep.
Everybody got crap. I just won't hide it because I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely.
To look good for anybody. It is what it is.
Yep.
I'm on a journey. I want to be successful. I'm a human being. I come from a background I'm not necessarily proud of, but I'm not going to be ashamed of either. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is. You either rock with this or you don't.
Right.
It's your choice.
You've touched and you've grown so much, and this whole conversation has evolved into so much more. And I'm appreciative of it because it'll find the right audience member or the right viewer when they need to find it, right?
Right.
So this episode wasn't just we're going to talk about business, and that's okay because business in itself is more. It is a lot of networking. It's a lot of social skills. It's a lot of people pleasing, you know what I mean? Like we were talking about. And I'm appreciative again that you touched on all of it and you were so open and you were willing to just share. So thank you for that.
No problem.
Normally when I close out the episode, I want to give my guests an opportunity. Think of everything. I mean, you really highlighted a lot of it today though, but just think of everything about you was already scrubbed away off the internet. So no one knows who you were or what you've done, right? Or what you did. So if you had an opportunity in a 30-second clip to speak to the entire world, who is Mark Days? And then what do they need to do to become successful? What would you want to give them that little piece of advice in 30 seconds, man?
Wow. You want me to look at the camera and tell them?
However you want to break it down. You in the living room.
Man, that's a deep question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Take a minute.
First and foremost, I am Mark Days, founder, CEO of Coffee Mobile. And first and foremost, I'm an entrepreneur more than anything else. Husband, father, God-fearing man. That's what I want people to remember about me, that I fear God. Let's rearrange that. First and foremost, I fear God. That's first and foremost. More than I love any human being. That's what that's about. Second, I'm a husband and a father. And then I'm an entrepreneur. Because times when this doesn't work out, that hierarchy is what keeps me,
right.
And if you want to be successful, just first make the decision. Just first make the decision to be successful. That's really all it takes, because that's going to create a domino effect and a litany of other decisions you're going to have to make. And if you follow through with making those other decisions, then you're going to be successful. Success is subjective. So whatever you consider success, whether it's just getting out of your neighborhood or moving into your local suburb, putting your kids in a better school, making more money at your job. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is very lucrative, right? Many CEOs make more than entrepreneurs will ever make. Many employees will make more than entrepreneurs will ever make. And just make positive decisions. Put yourself first. Because if you're not okay, you're of no use to anybody. And that, to me, is how you become successful. I can't tell you how to get to the pinnacle yet because I'm not there. And that's in full transparency. Once I get there, I'll double back and we'll double down again.
Ooh.
And we'll talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
That fair enough?
I love it.
All right.
I think that they absolutely can take something from that. And again, they can do it when the time is right for them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You got to make the decision, though. That's the most important thing. Because you can find the steps out there. There's so many podcasts and YouTubes and all that stuff that you could look up. YouTube University is great.
Come on now.
But the most important thing, the thing that people don't tell you, is you have to make the decision. Absolutely. And making the decision is making the decision.
That's it.
Cutting the people, putting yourself around the right situations, being uncomfortable, going in those rooms where you don't even feel like you belong in yet and saying, yo, that empty chair belongs to me. And then going and sitting in it before you even ready, going and sitting in the chair.
Powerful.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I do. Absolutely. I go sit in chairs where I ain't got no business sitting.
Yeah.
And saying, nah, I'm making it my business to be here. Even if y'all tell me to get up and leave, I'll be back.
There you go.
Right? And this time I might take your chair.
Yeah.
From playing games. I might be sitting at the head of this table.
Right.
You know what I mean? And definitely I built my own table in the process. You can't come to that one.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that. And just realizing, let me just leave y'all with this. Everybody is equal. Please understand that.
Okay.
Don't let these people fool you because they have a certain number in their bank account. There are people way more stupid than you and I who lucked up and got rich or found a lane or pivoted and got in the right vehicle and got themselves a bag. Don't ever esteem anybody above yourself. The only one who is to be esteemed is God. No one else.
There we go.
Everybody's an equal. I look people in the eye when I talk to them.
You do.
I don't care if you're a billionaire, trillionaire, a quadrillionaire. I don't care if you a UFC just beat up 600 people. I don't care if you're the worst gangster in jail. It doesn't matter. We're equal.
Right.
And I'll give you the same amount of respect. You give me respect in return, and we're good. But I will not esteem somebody above myself because that's how you play yourself. Right. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Nobody's better than you. You don't got to fan out for them. You don't have to display this obsequious behavior and automatically put yourself under somebody else. No Diddy and all this weird stuff. No. Give respect where it's due because some people have earned it. But outside of that, you're just as valuable as anyone else on the planet. I don't care who you are or where you come from.
You're right. Man. Before we sign off, go ahead and let the people know how they can contact you, work with you, and what you got going on in the future, man.
Sure. At The Real Mark Days on all social media, coffeemobile.com, coffee with a K, coffee_mobile on social media. Reach out to me directly. I'm a chill guy, you know. I'm not one of these weirdos who think they better than other people and all this strange stuff. So reach out, man, interact, follow DeAndre right here, man. Get in touch with the Double Down podcast, get in tune, get tapped in, and stay tapped in because this man right here is going to do great things. And I see it in you already, bro. So I want to be one of the first to tell you I'm proud of you already.
Wow. Thank you.
Forehand, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate
because, that. Because I see the dedication and how serious you take this, and I love it, bro. It's winning.
Yeah.
It's winning.
Thank you. That truly means a lot.
Of course.
Yeah. Because this is literally just the beginning. So if this is the beginning.
It's a great beginning.
Come on now. The finish line.
It's a wonderful beginning.
The finish line going to be
crazy. Come on. It's going to be crazy work, man. Yes, sir.
Hey, this was today's episode of the Double Down podcast. I had an amazing guest with me, Mark Days. And you guys know how I always want to send you guys off being able to completely understand if no one else believes in you, you believe in you. When you have a goal and you have a dream, you double down on it. When you have a thought and an ambition, you double down on it. And if no one else wants to rock with you at the end of the day, you rock with yourself and you'll be okay. That was today.